Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we're going to be talking about eyeshadow palettes. Eyeshadow is one of my biggest weaknesses in makeup. I am buying a lot less than I used to, but it is still my biggest weakness, and I want to talk about some of my favorite palettes for summer. So it is definitely fully summer here. Summer technically starts end of June, like calendar-wise, solstice-wise, but it is the beginning of July. I'm going to be gone and out of town for the rest of the month, and so I am doing a little bit of pre-filming, and I want to talk about the things that I'm going to be using more while it's still hot out, or the things that make me think of summer. I don't think makeup necessarily has to be seasonal. I think you can wear whatever you want, whenever you want, and I definitely do, but these are the things that I think about more when the weather is hot, and I'm excited to pull them out a little bit before I go to Europe, and definitely in August when I get back. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I'm a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup with a definite soft spot for indie makeup and high-end makeup, which you will see both of here today. And I tend to take a pretty analytical approach to the content I make, be it, reviewing something new or talking about things I already know and love. And I have new videos every week, so I'd love to have you subscribe. Okay, so like I said at the intro, I am pre-filming, so I love to talk to y'all in the comments, and I try to respond to everyone because I am a smaller channel and I can, but I will be slow, so I will get to you eventually, but I'm gonna be in Paris, London, and Amsterdam for 2 weeks, so I just won't be on my phone as much, and I'm not taking a computer or anything like that. So I pulled 10 palettes today. It's a mix of indie makeup and high-end makeup, and it's things that, like, when I think of warm weather, these were the first things that came to my mind. So some of these I already have been using in June and the first part of July, and some things I'm excited to use more while it's still warm out and I'm in the mood for that type of makeup. If you are interested in this eye look, I will have all of my makeup details in the description box like normal, with links and everything. I did film this look. I did another one of my revisiting series with Pat McGrath Sublime. So that is what I have on the eyes, and that will probably go up before this. I don't know what order I'm gonna have things go up right now, but that'll go up sometime soon or already be up when this goes live. Actually, this might go up first. Yeah, I think I'll have this go up first because I don't know, just because that's what I feel like. Okay, so I have 10 palettes here. I'm not gonna rank these or anything. These are just 10 eyeshadow palettes. Some of these are new, some of these are not, some of these are discontinued, some of them are not. I don't think of this as necessarily like, hey, you should go use all of these this month, or right now, or go out and buy these. This is more what I'm interested in, and I hope this is that will help you, inspire you to use what you already have. Maybe you'll realize you really want something like this and you don't have it, and that's cool, and you can kind of figure out how to navigate that space. But I also want this to be a way of like reminding you of what you might already have, or color stories that are similar to these that you haven't used in a while that you can go grab. Okay, so first is going to be a palette that I just got in PR in the last month, and it is the Nomad Keys Beachy and Peachy palette. So this is their Key West theme palette. I pulled this because it is their newest summer release, and I did do a video on it. I'll have it linked, and I have really enjoyed this, but I want to keep playing with it while it's still hot out and while I'm still in the mood, so I can, form that relationship with it. So if you don't have this or don't want to buy it, and you have maybe one of their other summer palettes that's also really bright and colorful, maybe this is a reminder to grab like the Monteverde one or something. But I do really like this palette. So I do have a code with Nomad. It is Bones. It saves you 10%. It's not affiliated. I don't earn any money. But there are people with affiliate links, like Jamila's, I think, is affiliate. My friend Steven has one. Theirs is not affiliate. But I think this is a really pretty, kind of bright, almost rainbow palette. I did multiple looks in the video. Really like the formula. You've got some pastels over here, and then some bright colors here, and then some shimmers. If you want something really smoky like I'm wearing today, you're not gonna get this, but if you want a bright, springy, colorful thing, this is really fun. I think this is a really good one and done kind of palette, or like pick one matte and one shimmer kind of palette, which is a lot of what I do in the summer. And I enjoy their other summer palettes as well, but because this is the newest and I don't really have a full relationship with it yet because I've only used it like 5 or 6 times, I put this in this list as partly for me to keep using this. But I do really love this. Give it a little shout out and love. It is really nice. Like most palettes, I don't think it's for everyone. If you want something like this, it's not for you. If you don't like pastels, it's not for you. But if you want to see swatches and all of that, go watch the video on that. I will have it linked in the cards, hopefully. The next palette is another one that I thought of immediately when I was thinking of like warm weather makeup. And that is Lisa Eldridge Cinnabar. So I have 3 of these palettes from Lisa Eldridge. I want them all. I really love this formula, and this just screams like not beginning of summer, not like spring, early summer, but like hot end of summer and fall, because it is a warm tone palette. So you've got the shade here is Raw Sienna. So you've got like a nice warm tone transition shade. You've got a more reddy toned one, which is the Deep Ochre. Really love this. You've got the like smoky shade here, which is kind of a charcoal, but a little bit more warm still. And then you've got 3 really beautiful shimmers. One is a top coat. I like this top coat formula. It's the shade Ritual. It's sparkly and sheer, so it just adds, it's just a topper. So if you put it over like a matte, you'll see that sparkle, or just your bare lid. If you put it over a metallic, you might see a little bit more sparkle, especially in different lighting, but it's not like a Pat McGrath Astral shade that's like immediately glitter. It's a more everyday friendly version of that. I really like that. I don't think most people on YouTube like top coat shades or toppers, but I do. And then you've got more of a bronze and more of a rose gold. I really love these. I think they're really beautiful. So we've got Bronzite and then Lost Summer. I really like this. I might take this with me to Europe, but I'm only taking a couple things because I don't really wear a lot of makeup and eyeshadow when I'm on vacation and I'm on a trip. It's more about like, do I look good? Let's go out the door. Like concealer, brows, done. So I thought about taking this, but I think I'm gonna stick with the 2 other things that I have. But this is really beautiful and would be really good for this type of trip if you're someone who wears more makeup on vacation than I do. Okay, the next palette is an old one, but it is still available. I've seen people say it was out of stock, but I've also seen it in stock. And it is the Kidos Escape Pod. I might have put this in my spring one of these too, because it is very springy to me. It's like that, I think I said it then, like spring into summer. It is very colorful, which that like the beginning of spring, especially in the Pacific Northwest, is not spring. It is just rain. So I'm not really in the mood for this then, but like the end of spring, early summer through like Pride Month, I really do love bright colors, and this has a lot of them, some neons. These are really beautiful, like as a neon inner corner pop or on the lid. And then there's just some of the most beautiful shimmers. And then I do grab this other times of the year for the greens. I love the greens all year, like even just the neutral mattes with the green shimmers, beautiful. But these shades in the middle make me think, and the bright neon shades make me think of end of spring and summer, and I love them. They're just so well done. I really like the Kidos formula. I haven't bought anything since Angelica's palettes came out. No, there was one palette after that. There was the name is disappearing, but it's like a magnet. That was the last one I bought from them, and they've done mostly like neutral quads that all kind of look the same, which is just not really my thing, where it's like a light, a medium, a dark, a shimmer. It's just not generally my vibe. So I haven't picked up any of those. I wish Kidos would release some more stuff like this, but I love this and I will cherish it as long as it functions and hasn't gone bad. So the next palette is going to be a much more subdued one. It is another newer palette that I bought, and it is kind of my everyday neutral color story, and it's Golden from Natasha Denona. I have a video going over this and comparing it to gold. I do really enjoy this. I do kind of wish it was just gold, and they kept all of the shades the same, but I do like the new shades as well, so I'm torn. I do like these new lighter cream to powders. I think that they're very versatile. They work really well as an inner corner brightening shade for me. And I do think gold was kind of mid-tone across the board, and so this has a little bit more brightness to it. And I do really like the new wet effect shades, and I do think the new upgraded formula is better. But so this is, I said this in my video, in case you haven't seen it, or whatever, but this is, to me, like the medium skin tone range version of I Need a Nude. So I Need a Nude leans a little more cool, a little more pink, and doesn't go very dark. So I can wear I Need a Nude, but it's definitely, anyone darker than me, it's a little iffy. So it's definitely a pale person's nude. This, for like a light medium to a medium tan, is gonna be really nice and neutral. You can get a little bit of depth, but it doesn't also go dark enough. So I really want her to release another, I wish this had gone darker, or she just needs to do a third one that's like a perfect nude palette for deep skin. But I still love it. I really like it. I don't regret paying for it, even though I already have gold. I think of them differently in my head. So next is gonna be a discontinued palette, and I feel bad bringing this up, but I'm not here to just sell you things. You might already have this, or you might have something similar to that, and that's why I like to bring up even things that you can't purchase anymore. It is the Red Dragon palette from Judy and Oden's Eye. I think this was the most slept on in their original set. I think her Spring Dragon is really pretty, but it is very pastel. And this is, I think I've used this in a fall video too before, and I don't care about repeating it because I do really love this palette. And it's that like end of summer when things are a little drier and different is very different from like early summer. And this is that end of summer, early fall vibe for me, not like late fall, it's dark, it's gloomy, it's spooky out. It's not that. It's that like end of summer, early fall transition period for me. It's warm, it's red, but it's not like red. Like you do have a bright red here, but everything else has a little bit more nuance to it. You've got some like more yellow tone neutrals. You've got some greens in here. Just a really beautiful, fiery palette, but not like literal bright red, all monochromatic red, which is what I appreciate because I don't really like red eyeshadow. I love a red lip, but not a red eyeshadow. And I just think this didn't get enough attention, and I would like to use it more. I haven't used it since the fall, so it's on my list to pull back out soon. So next is a palette that I have been using lately, and I love, and it is discontinued, but I think it's still available right now, and it is the Industrial 2.0 from Isamaya. So when they launched the brand, they said everything was being capsule collections, and so I thought everything was gonna be limited edition, but Wildstar and Industrial are sticking around, and this apparently is the limited edition one. I don't really understand how the brand's functioning, but I love this. It is sparkly, it's bright, it's fun. I've worn this a few times this month. This is what I wore to Pride. You can go a little more smoky if you want to use the sparkly brown here or like the taupe, but you can also like this like wet effect shade right here that's kind of a warm base with a blue shift. Just that all over the lid. Beautiful. You've got some bright colors, so the iridescent white sparkle here. I think I can put a little bit of that on top of what I have. And it just adds a little something. This is like a white blue. I love it. I love this palette so much. I'm really sad that this isn't gonna be staying around because this is impeccable. Formula is great. Some people didn't love the formula in Industrial. I love it. It's like kind of murky and watercolor-y. This is a little different. This is a little bit more high impact and a little more differentiation between the shades. So I wish they kept this around. Oh, like these are such springy, summery shades. I just love this so much. I've done multiple videos on it. It's Isamaya is an interesting brand, but it's despite some of the controversies, one of my favorite brands. Okay, so I've got 4 palettes left, and if you've been around here a while, you're probably gonna predict at least 2 to 3 of them. So the next one I'm gonna mention is the Bard palette from Fenty Cosmetica. So I do get PR from Fenty Cosmetica now. I did buy the first few of their palettes, and I do have a code with them. It is Bones. That is affiliated, so I do earn a little commission if you use it, and I do appreciate when you do. But I love this. It's kind of bright, but it's very bright. You've got a bright yellow and an orange, but you can mute it down. It's also one of those, maybe because it is July now, and we're past the bright, like, little bit of springiness, it's like straight into hot summer, and it's gonna be like this until my birthday in September. It's that like spring summer. So like this shade is very summery to me, this blue, and this is kind of both. You've got a nice green blue duochrome right here that I really like. So you can see very green gold there, and then blue. And then this one is like purple to blue. There's something about like using like a warmer toned matte or neutral in the lid and then putting one of these shades on it that just makes me think of summer. Like blue, like really bright blue eyeshadow contrasted with like a soft neutral lid. Just love it. Really happy. They have changed the packaging since then, so they've moved all of the packaging to a stained glass style, and they've made them all magnetic now, so you can buy them as singles too. So this is the old version, but love it. I think Jordan does a really great job with curating color stories, and I'm very happy and thankful that I am on their PR list now because I really like them as a brand. Okay, the next palette is gonna be Natasha Denona Yuka. So this came out about a year ago. I think it was in June. No, it was before June. But the last month or so, I keep getting like, my phone will be like, hey, remember this picture from last year? And I'm wearing this palette. I've only used it once so far this summer, so I need to pull it out. But this is again this like mid-June through September kind of vibe for me. It's olive. This is my perfect olive palette. I can do a brighter olive. I can do a smokier olive. Everything in here is a little olive toned. So like Tipu and Acacia on some people looked very similar. On me, I don't think they are. I think it's nice that you have some warm neutrals, like this kind of orangey tone and this brown to go with things, the peach. You've got a teal. It's just so pretty. And the shimmers in this are the best Natasha Denona has ever done. They're better than Golden. They're better than I Need a Nude. These are just superior, sparkly, beautiful shimmers. I've worn Plantasia so far this summer, and I would wear Plantasia all the time. Like if I only had a handful of palettes, this one would already have pan in it. I love it so much. And then I really like Macchia as well for that olivey green gold. I love the whole palette, but yeah, I just love this so much. And I've only used it like once this summer, so I'm excited to use it more when I get back from our trip. Okay, so the last 2 palettes. The next one is Trixie Cosmetics Horse Girl. So I think this came out last summer as well, and I had to pre-order it because this was the first time a Trixie palette like sold out like within like a couple minutes. So I got it in the pre-order, and I've loved it ever since. I have bought this for people as gifts. I just think it's a really great palette. So they did change the formulas. I mean, the formula is pretty consistent. This is even better though. This one is made in China. The rest were made in the US. They have changed a few things, but I think this is even better. And there's nothing wrong with made in China. Honestly, a lot of the time it's better than made in the US. But there's a lot of xenophobia and xenophobia that goes along when you say made in China. But this is beautiful. You've got some pinks that I don't really use. I've used Hot to Trot and Western Pleasure and Rodeo Queen a couple times. These 2 I've used a couple times. I do like Rodeo Queen because it's got that gold shift to it. Main character is just a really beautiful duochrome. It's one that's kind of similar to a lot of others, but like slightly different and just like a very good version of that. High Horse, another really like bronzy brown, one and done shade for me. And then you've got these like more clay tones here. I love a clay tone. It's so pretty. I didn't pull it out here, but one of my palettes for summer, so an honorable mention, is the new Byredo. This is the Desert Road palette. It's the same kind of thing. This is just a smaller, compact version of that. This is coming with me to Europe because it's so pretty and compact. Same kind of vibe, but different version of it. And then instead of having like the dusky lilac, you've got these shades. So I love it. I love Trixie Cosmetics in general. I think they do really great makeup at a really affordable price. And then they put it in cute packaging. Like, okay, so the last palette for today is definitely not gonna be a surprise if you've been around for a while. And it is Byredo's Flor Kalahari. This is one of my perfect palettes. I bought this the year it came out, so 2 years ago. Bought this when I was in LA. I thought about buying it. I watched Alicia Archer's video and her swatches of it over and over and over again. And I was like, it's so expensive though. And then it sold out and I couldn't get it. And it was sold out for months. And by the time I was like, yeah, I want it. Like, I'm gonna spend the money on this. This is as I was moving into more high-end makeup and luxury makeup. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I couldn't find it anywhere. And then we were in LA visiting friends, and as we do regularly, and one of them lives right by the LA Byredo boutique. And I went in and they had it on display and I was like, oh, I've been wanting this forever and it's been sold out. And she was like, oh, we have like 3 of them. And I was like, oh, really? And I swatched it. And I was like, okay, this is my trip for myself, or like my gift for myself on this trip. We're buying this. It's so good. It is my perfect kind of all year round, but especially summer palette. You've got a nice olive green up here, but it's kind of antique goldy at the same time. You've got a really beautiful dark blue if you want a blue smoky eye, like a really nice deep smoky eye. There's a sparkly black, and then the rest are clay tones and earthy tones and some pinks, but they're not like bold, ultra pigmented pinks. They're a little softer, and I love this so much, so much. This was my favorite palette of 2022, and it's still in my like top 10. Like, I don't think I've done it in a while, but like that if I had to get rid of all my makeup and only have like 10 palettes, this would definitely be in it. So I might redo that in December. I think that's gonna be an annual thing for me. Okay, so that is all 10. Let me know what you think. Do you have any of these? What have you been using this summer? What are you gonna continue using this summer? I'd love to know. I'd love to talk to you on the comments. Like I said, I will be slow to get back to you for a little while, but I will, I promise. So thank you again for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video.